Location matters.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
think we
that's
have
the
to
way.
Yeah,
To me,
I don't
it's,
think y'all have.
I don't know, I've been by there 100 times, it's
start.
not something that impresses me. when I go
No,
by.
I
It's just, yeah, there's so much art stuff around town already. Maybe.
It was an icon, for sure. Kind of our what was the gal's name that brought all the. Call the meeting to order at 5:17. Have we declared quorum? I think we do have a quorum, Colin, with you in the room.
Yeah, y'all have a quorum.
Well, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
haven't-
I'm still,
yeah, you're still there. So
Need a chair.
I'm not, again, I can, I can't, because I'm really not back on, y'all have to let me back on.
but you're coming up. So
Okay.
right now, we need a quorum of our
Existing.
existing
I forgot.
members.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I get the legal attendance.
No, so we do. I think we have five members. So that should declare a quorum. Well, we need someone to do that, but we haven't got.
Looks like 8 members. Yeah,
No, not
from
yet.
the previous.
Well, I'm sorry, Mike's on it. So
Yeah,
that's
Sherry
Sherry. That's true.
That's why I was
That's true.
saying that.
and Dave
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Sandy.
yeah,
Well, anybody is still on
And Mark.
until the new ones are appointed,
Seven.
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so you got 7.
Yeah, good. Okay, we have.
We have a quorum.
Okay. There's no guests, but we have a bunch of appointees that are here.
You want to do the minutes first? I can move the minutes.
I'm just following.
She's
the
following the
way-
agenda.
I'm
yeah.
following the agenda.
You're jumping ahead.
Hello?
I'm sorry, my glasses are bad. I thought.
Well, I'll fix your glasses real good in a minute. I love you, Dave.
I was reading it,
Where'd you
like
go?
minutes were. Like minutes were your second one, but no, move on, Dave, move on.
Okay. Everybody received a copy of the minutes of the November 9th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay. Treasurer's report, Dave?
I've got a treasury report here. I don't have enough handouts for everybody, but I've got enough for, I got 2 or 3 of them here. So if anybody wants to share some, I'll send one down this way. There's one goes down that way, and here's another one, you guys over there. Long and the short is that we did spend our $10,000 and we overspent by 44 cents. So being like the IRS, I think we can round down and just call it, we did spend our budget for the year. And it looks like in categories, I think we're going to have to increase some of these categories in the next go around when we do the budget for 24. We'll have there's a couple things I'd like to do, and one is I think with inflation we're going to want it a little bit bigger, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 higher than we have on this budget. But the long and the short being, some of the categories that we've allocated funds to were not spent. And education outreach is one area that we did. We'll definitely budget a lot more money in that category for the next year, for the next go around. So this year we didn't spend as much on historical markers as we thought we would. So got to spend on outreach. That's my analysis.
Okay, we appreciate it. So do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
I second. I guess I can't still.
You can. All in favor? Thank you, Dave, for
You're
that.
welcome.
Okay, slate of officers for 2023. And all nominations can be made from this floor. And so the slate that the nominating committee came up with was Doreen Bonner to be chair, Gail Johnston to be vice chair, Dave Hatman to be treasurer, but at this point, we have no one who's volunteered to be secretary. So I would like to see someone step up to the plate to do that. And Betty Hatman,
I could
you can certainly do that. Will you appreciate that? Colin will help you to the point of we deal with this. I don't know what you're looking at. But
I'm doing this right
you're
now.
doing this, so.
Oh, this is, okay, this is technical more than,
Well,
Okay, okay.
it is,
Okay.
but we
Okay.
have to, we
Mhm.
do a YouTube video of
Okay.
what we're doing. So if you want to take notes tonight, we'd appreciate that very much, and I'll hug your neck the minute you stand up.
okay.
Okay, thank you, Betty, for doing that. We know how capable you are. As of this minute, then we need to vote on the slate of officers. And if there are any nominations from the floor by Robert's rules, I'm supposed to ask that 3 times. But should we go one at a time, or do we want to accept the slate by acclamation?
I make a motion that we accept these nominations by acclamation.
Right?
second.
Okay, we got a second from Mike Gear. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay.
The only thing I had to add, sorry, is
Spelling
Ms.
correct.
Robson's name needs to be spelled correctly. That's it.
I always spell her name
With a T.
correctly.
It's Johnston with it too.
I have it.
It's on, yeah, on the.
Oh,
It
but
is.
you know, I know that. It's, if you look at the
Yeah.
appointee list, I've got it right. Sorry.
Yeah, my vote was aye. I don't know why I said nay. I just wanted to get you. Yeah.
Well, you're fired. You're off. Okay. I now turn it over to our new chair, Doreen Bonner, to finish the agenda. It is now yours. Now, we will help.
Thank you.
We will help.
And it's Bronner's with an R.
I know. Well, let's get it all.
Not a spelling problem.
Well, no, she spelled it right.
That's why you have to
Saying
take
it
it
right.
Your phone.
She's saying it wrong.
Well, it's talking to where you take off something.
Well,
Could be you saying.
I think it's the same.
All right, keep in mind, we're on TV.
okay, so the THC annual report, from what I understand, there was hardly anything, but they have some.
I just got it in the mail. You and I will be working on that together.
Yeah.
It's due the 22nd of February. So we've got until then to finish it.
Okay.
Okay?
So we need the total hours from everybody, for the appointees and the committee members on your, volunteer hours for this year. And, we need to get that in.
ASAP.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
I've got,
You sent out
I need yours.
I'll get those two.
Yeah,
Do you want to collect them? Do you want me to collect them?
well, you can collect them.
Well, I'm,
But I've got 2025 for Roberta Scherer already, so I was kind of keeping a list.
okay, want to send them to Betty for now and then.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Just give me your hours, yours too.
We just did the orientation, so thank you very much, Pam. Certainly appreciate that. It was very helpful. And now Mark for the preservation of public policy.
Well, Mark doesn't know too much yet about the Historic Preservation Month. It's in March.
I'm gonna lean on him.
Yeah, you will lean on me. And Pam can kind of update us on what we do as far as the volunteer.
Yeah, this I think is a really important thing that we do for May, but we have to start it in March. But and I think it's really important for the commission and the society and the Friends of the History Center to all work together on this. So we take a representative. So if somebody here wants to be on that committee, then we put a notice in the paper, on social media, asking for nominations for the awards for historic preservation. And it's typically been 3, which we respect. And so it can be an organization, a person, whatever. We didn't set it up with categories, but
But
we just-
Jerry's been a recipient. Jerry Brundrett has been a recipient, hasn't he not?
I don't think so. He has.
Well, I think with Jackie Shore or
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
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 I think I did, but I didn't get my $10,000.
For friends.
You didn't get the big check?
No, no
No
big check.
check, no Rolex, nothing like that.
Yeah, so it's, again, we've got a file folder with past nominations that we can look at, or you can, this group needs to think what has happened in the community over the past year in terms of historic preservation that ought to be noticed. So this is an opportunity for a good public relation push,
Do we have the criteria written down or is that in the, of, for the nominations, what they're looking for? Do we have that? You have that? Okay, I'll get that from you later then.
What if you were doing an outreach to the community? Asking for nominations and,
Well, she just said we
Is that-
put it in the
okay,
paper. yeah.
okay.
Well, absolutely reach
okay.
out.
I'm just thinking through SEO or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, the next one is Stella Maris, and that would be me. So they are, Stella Maris, I went and took pictures, sent it to Betty. Betty sent it to the state. Where did you send those pictures? Or you talked to somebody? At the end of the day, here's the bottom line though, is we were told to stand down because the Catholic Church is going to be redoing a few things. They're going to fix up some things on it. And then we can go back and revisit once they contract and fix up some of the rotten wood and areas, the windows.
To do is repair it.
Well, we need to save the church. It's in much disrepair.
it's got a lot of mold. It's
Yeah.
got
So who's it belong to?
The Catholic
The Catholic
Church.
divus and they don't want anything done to it unless they give their blessing.
Right.
Well, no faster they are than any of the other stuff. It might be a few
Let's
years.
go look at Schoenstatt. It's still,
Well, yeah.
Say that, but you go by the school and you go by the St. Peter's Church.
I know.
So,
I'm
but,
pretty sure that's.
Not in any hurry to move.
well, at the end of the day, there's not a lot we can do because we don't
Yeah.
have permission. So, I mean, it's a shame, but it is what it is. But one of the things that I was looking at when I was diving into this little project was the National Registry. Now, and I've got it sitting on my computer right now, what it's, and I just want to talk about it because I don't know if it's of importance. It says that a criteria consideration to be on a national registry for a religious property deriving from primary significance from architectural or artistic distinction or historical importance. So the historical importance, we don't have the architecture or the artistic, but the historical importance was it was bombarded by the Union twice during the Civil War, and it stood. Even though it's been moved, we can still consider that. The question I have is, do we want to pursue that? And I don't know if we do. I don't know if it's even worthwhile.
We talked about it
Yeah.
the other day and the amount of work and time that goes into
Right.
it. And whether or not they'd even accept it. So it's a ton of work. Not saying that we can't do it, but
Right.
it's gonna take a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and I didn't know, I wanted to see what the committee thought. before we just said.
Well, I think first of all, somebody has to chair it.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, but you can't do it all.
Exactly, exactly, but,
I mean, we love you, but you just can't.
I
do it.
can't, yeah, and it's, if it's not worth it, it's not worth it, we can drop it, but before I dropped it, I wanted to make sure that everybody, we did the proper discussion
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
Could we revisit after the church made those repairs?
probably we
Instead of just
can.
saying we want to drop it, you know.
No, I don't want to drop it. It's just a.
It is a ton of work. But I mean, I just think it's me personally, and this is just me personally, it's got to me historic significance.
And I don't know why everybody wouldn't think it's artistic. It's a beautiful
Well,
little,
being a Catholic church.
But you can't
can
take
get
on
a
the
lot,
Catholic
request a
Church,
lot of the
though.
archives, because they're gonna have the records of everything that happened to that building
Right.
throughout its history. And they'll, for historic and scholarly
Well,
stuff, they
they're
will
planning
grant
on
access
doing
to their
it repairs.
archives, you just have to
Well,
request.
there's the windows, there's mold and the rotting wood, so they're gonna,
So to
I
get
don't
it
know
on,
when they're doing.
to get it on the register, do you have to, the owners probably have to agree to that?
Oh, yes.
We'll have to go to the diocese too, but it comes, my whole point to this is to try and get some make grants and funding to get it to where it really needs to be, because I'm not.
But Doreen, we also know
Yeah.
that they had insurance money. They got FEMA money. They've
Well,
got the money to
You need
do
I
it.
get
you
that.
need to do a little history research and figure out what Catholic in town is the most connected with the diocese, and if
Well,
they're a
I
history
think-
buff, you need to get some help.
I think we've got Mr. Hines doing exactly that, Michael Hines. Doing exactly that. He is working with the diocese, and he's also the construction guy. So he redid the roof.
He's actually physically doing the repairs and out of his
That's
own
right.
pocket.
Right.
But so what benefits do you get from having a National Register marker? That's the question.
Well, I was looking at it from a grant perspective, and to me, it's also gives, some historic significance to it in my point of view. I can probably read this to you here, hang on.
We have a couple of National Register properties. One is the Hoops House, okay, on the corner. The school will be the elementary school on Live Oak, because they've gotten recent funding. I think probably
Under
the
him.
Brock House on Cornwall probably will be. And the Mathis House on Church Street. And that's all that I can come up with for properties that we have.
You know, this doesn't even say what it does. I do know after looking at, here he goes, grants, and that's why was the big thing, grants for planning and rehabilitation, federal investment tax credits.
I don't think the Catholic Church.
No, they don't.
I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, I think we get-
Preservation
we get plenty.
easements to nonprofit organizations, IBC, fire and life safety code alternatives rather. And there are possible state tax benefits. But not that,
They need it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the importance, but. I mean, I hear are you making a motion to table it, or what are we doing here?
I don't think it's a.
Quiet.
Yeah,
I think we need to revisit it after whatever they told somebody about repairs or whatever, Mr. Heim, whoever does it, because right now, I don't think we can do anything.
Right.
And I don't know if that needs to be in a motion or an opinion.
well, we can always put it back on the agenda for discussion, you know,
So
As
you
we-
can definitely table it.
we can table it.
Well, if you table it, you're supposed to come back up. You can actually do a no action deal, which just puts it off. If
Okay,
you table something, you're really supposed to bring it up the next meeting and back to the table.
okay, so
No action.
do we have to do a motion on that?
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and table it, and then let's.
Well,
bring it
there's
up.
no action on it.
No action, okay, sorry.
That's okay, honey, You're doing better than I did my first time.
Better than mine too.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, historical markers and endangered property, and thank God Betty's here because she can tell us everything.
No, well, I will say this, that, are we talking about the landmark survey?
Yes.
We did we had 15 landmark markers in Aransas County. And then we were requested, as you know, from the last meeting, we were requested to photograph them 3 to 4 different ways and then submit them to THC. And along with a release, a photographic release from the property owner. And so we did 14 of them. So we got 14 done. We still have 1 pending. Our deadline was what, November?
I thought it was, well.
Oh, they
originally-
extended it. Oh, yeah, we get the notice in October and then they want a deadline like November 22nd or some unbelievable. And I went, I'm crazy. Think about Dallas or Houston or doing all their markers and having only a month to get it all done. So anyway, they did extend it into December. So, but we got ours in and there's an app that they will be putting these landmark markers on, and so it'll be accessible to the public. But we're going to be late with ours, and it may not make this app, but when they do an update, it will be. So we only have 1.
Yes, and that would be the one I was supposed to do, but the lady didn't want to photograph it because she had some repairs being done on the house. I plan on doing that. As soon as I get a free minute, I plan on going and taking the photos, sending them to her with the release and saying, hey, can you please just sign this so we can get this in? So I do know I need to do that. And I do plan on doing that before the end of the month.
Okay, well, I know Dave was involved in that, in helping with the photography. I know Mike. So there was, quite a few of us that worked.
It was a team effort.
It was a team effort. Yeah, Sandy too. So anyway, I appreciate all that help. Under the Klein building status, I called Bob Brinkman again today, said we were meeting tonight. I have had no real update. I know we have done the narrative. We redid it, Mike and who was it else? Me. Anyway, we put together the narrative the way we wanted it to be, because what they do is they send these narratives out, the information out from the application, and they send them to college students to rewrite. And when they rewrote it, they left a lot of the stuff out. So we protested it the first time, came back. It was not much better the second time. So he figured all out, the proportions, the amount of spaces, everything, the font.
How many characters you could have.
Exactly. So we
got very conservative with our wording after that. 'Cause
Well,
we were probably 1,000 characters over.
Well, the deadline was November 22nd, I think. I keep throwing that date out, but anyway, it said if you don't have the narrative signed off on, you lose your deposit, you lose your. And so I've been really frantically trying to find out where we are. And everything I've gotten was, well, you're in the pile, you're in the queue. So I called Bob Brinkman, who's head of markers at THC. And I've called him twice and I have yet to hear back from him. So hopefully that you were trying to figure out it would be nice to have the unveiling in May when Historic Preservation Month is.
Mhm.
But if that hasn't gone to the Foundry yet,
Then that's not gonna happen.
good luck with that. Maybe next May.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have on that.
Well, the next one is finance and budget, and it's got Colin's name
It
on it.
does, and I don't know why. That was a
but-
So it's
So
boo-boo.
I know Mark,
Dave.
Dave, thank you. I'm sorry. I knew that too. Dave just gave us the budget, but we need to go set a date.
I didn't bring my copy. She brought my copy.
We need to set a date to do the next budget.
Yeah, we do. And I gather. Well, do we know, let me first off, let's find out when the March regular meeting is gonna be. When would the March? regular
Well, we
meeting
have
be?
to approve it at that meeting.
I know we do, but let's get the meeting for March. So I
Well,
can
we haven't, we'll get it in a minute. It's down at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
back up for the meeting. Well, if we want to bring it to that meeting, we need to meet for that meeting. So you know when that meeting is before we.
Well, you're gonna know in about 15 seconds.
Okay. I'm asking.
Okay,
When would that meeting be?
Well,
I was just gonna.
what we can do is jump if you want to.
Okay, let's
jump.
My proposal was to do all the regular meetings. When were you doing? I don't want to change anything. If Wednesdays work, what are we? This is the first, second. Wednesday.
This is the second one.
Second one, do you want to keep it the second Wednesday of every month?
Well, it's not every.
I mean, not every month,
Quarterly.
quarterly, excuse me, I'm sorry, yeah.
That's
quarterly.
okay.
And that would be on, what did I say? We got March, we have March, September and November. The second
That'd be
meeting,
March 8th.
March 8th, thank you.
That's a little.
Is that okay?
Well, he's saying something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that comes pretty quick because March 1st must be on a.
On Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, how about the third? How about the third Wednesday of the quarter?
Let's do that. Let's do the third. I think that would work better.
So that would be,
15th.
thank you,
That would work.
The 15th,
15th of March.
okay,
And then
September.
September would be. Hang on. The 20th
okay,
and November. Is the 15th.
okay.
Gosh.
Is that a motion thing?
No.
No,
That's
okay.
gonna, that's
Are
gonna,
we good?
I think
Okay.
that's gonna kill me.
He can't be in
I
the
can't be in any of these
third.
meetings.
You can only be in the third.
I didn't mention that, I'm on the board of
Okay,
a company and I've got a lot of commitments and they meet on the third Thursday. Our meetings are the third Thursday of our quarterlies. We don't have a meeting in March. That's the reason the third one works. But we could go with, why don't we go back with the second, except maybe we can. We'll just go with the second. I'll try and make it happen.
Yeah, you can actually do that. You can make this for the
Let's go with
March,
the
you can
second.
do the 15th, and then the rest of them will be the
Let's
second.
do the second, because I can't make them if that's.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
that would be
March-
September what?
September, hang on. Dang it. User
September
error.
13th.
Thank you.
September 13th. September
13th.
13th, and
And
November.
November 8th.
We could- we may want to move the 8th to the 15th of March if possible. Just want to see what happens here. We could vote on that if you want to.
I thought you said the 15th was okay in March.
Yeah, he is. So do you want,
March
so
15th is fine.
Okay,
so we're looking at March
March
15th,
15th.
September 13th and November 8th.
November 8th.
okay.
Is that good?
All
That
right.
works.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Any other issues? All right, okay, so now the finance and budget.
Yeah, we need to set a meeting, probably, if we're gonna present the budget at that March meeting, we probably want to meet, maybe the last week of January,
When's Commissioner's Court?
hang on a second, what's the,
Commissioner Court in March.
Yeah, oh, well, that
Yeah,
doesn't
it's gonna
matter.
be in budget, yeah.
Yeah, the
It'll be
budget.
done.
It will be before, yeah, okay, we're fine.
I was gonna ask a
it's,
question, how long, how many years can you remember going back to the budget was 10?
people got a calendar here.
Well, I
You got-
was on Commissioner's Court at the time.
I have it on my
I'm the one who got
phone.
it raised from 8 to 10. So
So-
2013.
I can see a month later.
2014.
So if you just using a CPI adjustment on that, let's see, 13, let's go to 13.
Thank you.
He's got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's almost 13,000 now, so
Someone's got.
should probably consider asking the commissioners for a little bit more.
Well, it just depends
Or
on,
maybe they can talk about that with their committee, I just wanted to.
yeah.
Why don't we-
I'm sitting here.
Why don't we set a meeting for the week of, the last week not the 27th, 28th, but the week of February 20th to look at the budget.
Okay,
The budget, so we said we could meet on a Wednesday, like February 22nd.
Do we have we don't need to meet here. We could meet at the airport if the airport's available.
You wanna do that? Sounds like,
That's good for you.
I like that, it's a great place,
Yeah,
good meeting room too.
Easy,
So why don't we shoot it for February 20, I think the 22nd, is that a Wednesday as well?
yeah, that looks like a Wednesday, yeah. What time?
Why don't we meet at 4 o'clock?
And that's for the executive committee?
No, this is,
well, usually the.
yeah,
Well, it
the-
says right here, set date,
Yeah.
executive committee, okay.
we'll do the budget, that's what we do. So,
Right.
Yeah. For 2024.
Yeah, because it has to be submitted in
Right.
April to
Right.
the auditor's office, the letter requesting it,
Thank you.
April or May, but
Someone's got it.
better, the squeaky wheel I found. If you get your name in quicker, then you have a better chance.
So that'll be, should be.
And
plenty
you
of
said
time.
at the airport?
At terminal.
Yeah, he's got a very nice conference room there.
Okay,
Lots of parking.
Yeah.
cool. All right. I think that's that. Okay. Then we kind of already talked to some about some of this, but the public relations outreach is the next thing on the update on the calendar for the fourth. grade.
Yeah, we just got the calendar. So Mark, are you able to do that?
Sure.
Get the calendars from my car?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's just right out front
Not a
when we
problem.
go out, and then just need to contact the school and see when they'll take them. Perfect. And
Is there a name that he can contact? Does anybody know?
I've got the calendars. It's
We don't want
She's
pictures
the-
again, we only get a picture.
Yeah.
Handing them out to the kids for the.
We have to
Bible.
go through, when I did it, we had to go through the secretary to get to the principal
Oh, why don't you?
and the
Oh, okay,
coordinator.
I can actually help him because I just did flyers for the entire high
Okay,
school,
good.
so Mark, I'll.
I'll be glad to help.
Information.
And
It's actually Dr.
Eddie,
Garcia, the new
Okay.
superintendent person handles it.
I'm on the Education Foundation, so if I need to meet
Okay,
Dr. Garcia a little more personal than I did the other day. My phone number is 601-310-3947.
Right.
That's off the record, but y'all can call it, but that's my Mississippi. phone.
You don't want us to put it on Facebook or? On YouTube.
Everybody rub it down.
Get it on viral now.
Nobody will call it because it's Mississippi.
Yeah.
Uh,
so for.
They probably can't understand who answers the phone there.
For public relations, I'd like to get a picture of the officers at the end of this meeting, and we'll go ahead and I'll do an article.
Cool.
Put it in
All right.
paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
Also, on that note,
look the other way.
we're gonna present the appointees to Commissioners Court at the next Commissioners Court meeting, which is Colin 23rd. We'd love to have everybody there.
That's January the 23rd.
January.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9.
Should actually be, the second was the first Monday. It should be the.
January
17th.
23rd is the second or the fourth Monday of the.
Oh, okay, sorry, fourth Monday.
And it's at 9 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Here,
Here.
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, second and fourth
No, you're right,
Monday.
yeah, the first one was a special.
Yeah, I've got it on the calendar
Yeah, that
already.
one threw me off too.
So anyway, we really would appreciate this, everybody being there so that we can show them that we're really an entity.
We do exist.
We do exist.
Okay, so collections, we talked about that. Colin was nice enough to get us some supplies, which we took over to the vault. We probably get some more supplies here once we get in and start digging into things. I was thinking about acid paper, Pam. We didn't get any of that.
Oh, you got all kind of supplies in there.
Yeah, but I didn't know if we needed any acid paper.
Well, let's go through.
You've
it.
got it.
Oh, we
Sitting
got
there.
it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did order newspaper, holding paper
Okay.
boxes and stuff too, so.
Yeah, I knew the boxes were over there. All right.
And they've started, they're redoing all the flooring and shelving there right now, so they've been hauling everything out of it and carefully moving it across into another storage facility while they redo that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you know, and I'll go ahead and start, now that we can get in there and start doing stuff, I'll go ahead and, get some training, because I still have the book on the computer system.
When do you think they'll be through?
They're about halfway through cleaning it out today, so probably tomorrow they'll probably get in there and
Do the floors?
do the floors, and then they should be able to start putting it back in. So I'd say next week or two, it'll be done.
Okay.
Okay, good.
And we've already got some network stuff in there, so the computer's ready to go once the desk is back in there. So
Okay, good deal. Do we want to set up a regular weekly meeting to get it done, or no?
Well, we can just coordinate that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good deal, thank you. Ad hoc update on cemeteries. And I don't have. So I was supposed to get a map from you, but I ended up finishing Lamar Cemetery off with the map that I already had. And that's about as far as I've gotten with it, so I haven't really done too much with it yet, but I need to go to the library and to the fire department and update the information there, because there's new grave sites there. And I did meet with Pat Ludicky, thank you. And she doesn't have the information that I was seeking for Max Lamb, so we can get some information, get a gravestone for him. And I don't know if that's part of the historic commission part, but anyway, that's something different. Sorry. He was a veteran, sorry, different. Fast forwarding, and I'm getting my committees confused here. It's like, that was an American Legion thing, sorry. He's a but basically he's a World War II veteran that has no gravestone sitting there, and we're trying to get him a gravestone through the VA. And so that was something different, sorry. That's all I have. Old business. I have a thank you, Pam. Pam gave us, the commission, a thank you letter for the money that we gave her.
We didn't give
not-
you.
Friend,
Yeah, that's good.
okay. The Friends of the History Center, all of a sudden I can't read. Yeah, the Friends of the History Center sent us a thank you letter, a letter of appreciation. Where do we file this?
Secretary.
There you go.
We're thanking you for, first of all, supporting the exhibit that's going up and opening on Saturday on quilts. Secondly, on about $600 worth of books from the Coconut Bay Press, who does reprints that are really fantastic of historic journals. So we're really building the library at the History Center. And the LAC class has taken on the library at the History Center as a project to redo it, to put new shelving and furniture in the library. So we're really upgrading there. And then the third thing that this commission is sponsoring is an intern to work in collections, county funding and so I've contacted the ISD to get recommendations on a student who could become our intern to work on.
We've had that in the past, and it was very, very good.
So those are the three things this commission held
Is that something we're gonna need in the future?
here.
Or are we gonna need to contribute or gonna request funds in the future?
Well,
Oh, it was a
thinking
one-time thing
One
because
time thing, okay.
there was,
just money because of the marker situation. and
Right.
We
this
didn't
commission
spend
did
some.
not get markers last year. It said there were several $1,000s that would have gone to markers.
Gotcha, okay. I just want to planning
Yeah.
purposes.
Good idea.
Okay, okay, any old business that I know I'm not aware of? Okay, moving to new business, so the 2023 Real Places Conference is in Austin on the February 1st and 3rd. I know I've been getting my emails. I'm not going to it. Is there anybody here going to it?
I'm not going to it. Pam and I taught, 3 years ago?
Yeah. We did a session.
We did a session, so it's very informative.
Yeah, it's just not the right place to go right now. At the time, they.
We totally understand.
But it's also online. So,
Well,
You could do
they
Zoom
have
stuff.
breakout room, kind of like what we do at conference when as commissioners, where you have a general assembly and then you kind of break off into different and how to make things better historically, how to, so there's all that kind of.
Aren't they gonna have something for like marker? You can meet we can meet other historical commission folks. How did they have a lot of, like how to write up the marker stuff and the how-tos and stuff like that. It looked pretty good. It was pretty robust.
Yeah, they're breakout sessions. So it's 3 days. so
Yeah, it was
that's
pretty
long.
robust. I mean, I know I wanted to go and I thought about it, but at the time I just.
Sure.
and yeah, they're concurrent sessions. So there's a lot going on. And in the budget, there's funding to support training because that's something the commission should be doing,
Yeah,
training.
But it's in Austin.
it's in Austin.
But it's
yeah.
also on
Your
Yeah.
favorite place.
Well, but most of the conferences are getting away from Austin because the hotel rooms have got so high that a lot of your conferences are going to, some of them are College
But you
Station. but they're going
San
to other-
Antonio's booked 10 years in advance. You can hardly do anything in San Antonio.
Well, maybe it's something we should think about, maybe once they announce 2024, they do this yearly.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe, because I know I would like to go to one, so for 2024, yeah. And I don't know if anybody else would want to go, but I mean, I think we should.
Yeah, split a
probably
room, that.
think about
that
it.
Helps.
Tropical trails, I know they have a lot of stuff coming up. Betty just sent out the email for it. And is everybody on the tropical?
No.
Okay, so I need to continue doing that, sending out those emails.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it.
Anyone who wants to can sign up, basically, once you send it to them, they can also sign. up
yeah,
and receive it.
because I'm.
But I had already
sign up.
done this agenda when I got the notice of what they were doing. So,
So did Sandy end up on
Uh-huh.
the commission?
Yeah, she's the director.
Director of it.
Hey, and we've
Sandy
already,
Jumper?
Mm.
That's what I thought, that's who she went to. work
he's the
for.
director. Yeah.
Okay.
okay, we already set our quarterly meeting dates. Last chance for anybody to have take backs. So our next meeting will be the 15th of March here. I know I have to set it up.
Yes, need to meet with Tracy.
Yep.
But the fact that we're at 5:15, we shouldn't have any
Shouldn't
issues.
have any-
He said it was gonna be tight because the courthouse is gonna move sometime this year,
Probably November.
probably November. Okay.
I'd
Maybe.
like to bring something up.
Yes, sir.
And this is just my thinking, but there where Popo's Art Gallery is there on Austin Street. We were visiting in there looking for a gift for someone. And he can take, he has a lot of, his wife does the photography and then he transfers it onto things like placemats and all type of media. He can, and they're beautiful.
Hmm.
And it gets lots of traffic and I'm always thinking history. And I thought, how can we help promote history? Because I was giving him some history about Rocky Point, which was right there on that street, and about the old grand hotels and things like that. And I haven't even talked to him about this, but I thought I want to run it by y'all about if we had like pictures of the grand hotels that used to be in that downtown area that he could transfer on to different media. He could have a section in his story, a store that was for historical stuff where people could actually, see where it was. And what I'd even thought, we have the old insurance maps that shows that area, that shows where the hotels were. You could even have that one and you could do, like we bought a series of placemats with these beautiful birds, marsh birds, and gave it as a gift. It makes a beautiful gift, but someone that's interested in history could actually get the set of placemats that had the downtown map and then have the different hotels that were located and designated. But I don't know, I have a ton of photography, but a lot of them may be proprietary, like the Historical Society has a library, but am I crazy, or do you think we could maybe work, I mean, I could do it individually with him with just my private stuff, but I have a ton of photographs that I think he could have a whole display of historical stuff. Yeah, and I haven't even talked to him. I don't know if he'd be interested, but I think that's one way of promoting history to people that are just visiting, because I talk to a lot of people and I'll talk to them about history and they don't have a clue.
I always like the then and now pictures, so, I mean, I like that, me personally, I like that idea, because I like the then and now pictures, and that could be a great giveaway for, you know, if we go do like the booths set for the Winter Texans or whatever, that would be a great giveaway item. I think, if it's not too expensive, I don't know.
Well, I haven't talked to him, but I may just mention it. See.
Pam wrote a book.
What's that?
Pam has a book, a beautiful book that when I had Eleanor's coffee shop, we sold that book because it was what you're exactly talking about. It's all of, there were 2 books, weren't there?
So Aransas County in postcards.
Oh, yeah.
And Cam and I worked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have.
We got another one that, but it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Jerry.
I don't know if he's interested, but it seemed like he was very interested in history, and he's got a friend of his that's coming down to visit. He's linked her up with me, but she writes historical articles primarily up north. And when I was telling him a little bit of family history, he got all excited. He said, "You need to talk to this lady and let her write a book about, you know, family history and about Rockport." But anyway, that's another thing. I'm still working, so I don't really have time to do all that. But I thought about pictures on place. No, I won't ever retire. That surveyor just died, and they use them for line stakes. They pick like around their head and put them in the brush somewhere. I turned 74, so everybody asks me that question.
So what is your proposal that we look?
Well, no,
into
I
that?
just wanted to bring it out, brainstorm. We don't have to have, just,
Yeah.
I didn't know, I wanted input from y'all. But, you know, I love selling history. I love getting information
I
about
think it's a
history.
great idea.
So let's just test the water and see if he's interested. I thought I would invite him over, and I have a 1928 photograph of right there by Wells Fargo Bank, what the old Highway 57 looked like before 35. It was a dirt road. And I have 2 different views, one of them looking south and one of them looking east. They were TxDOT photographs. And I show people that this is what in 1928, what 35 looked like, you know, and they're amazed. It's a dirt road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I think on a place map would just blow people away.
Yeah.
I want to
that's
whet
great.
people's appetite for this.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
didn't even have a bridge over.
Speaking of, you know, it's a Studebaker on a pole up on 35. What's the history behind that? Anybody know?
But
Over there between here and Ramses Pass?
How about there at the one, the old black
Yeah,
50s model car, I guess it's a Studebaker, it's next to the boat tow company. It's over there.
How about you?
Towboat USA, yeah.
what's the story? Is that of historical significance? or-
Is it a Rantis propane?
That
Do
had-
they own it?
It's been there, I don't think it's been there that long. I don't.
I got your attention. It's a good ad.
I just need you to make a note.
People in
that
that precinct are a little different.
You need to go by the post office.
Yeah, I got it. I made
The
the-
bill, but the bill,
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I will do that. I have that on my.
and I'll help you with how you do that. You'll submit those bills.
Okay. All
I
right.
gotta go. I've got 3 calls. from
Okay,
my grandchild.
so do we have a?
I want to get a picture. Yeah.
Y'all need a motion?
Well, I
We need a
don't
motion
need
to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.
You get to keep your picture.
All
Yep.
picture you can have tomorrow.
Yes.